Today, we are diving into a virtue that feels, well, almost forgotten in our world of instant everything. But it might just be the secret weapon for achieving our biggest goals. We're talking about patience, but not the boring, passive, sit around and wait kind. We're talking about patience as an ancient art, a powerful strategy for winning this modern game of life. And we're going to start with a question that I think we've all asked ourselves. You know the feeling, right? It's January 1st, or maybe just a Monday morning. You are fired up, totally motivated to make a change. You're going to hit the gym, you're going to eat healthier, you're finally going to learn that new skill. But a few weeks go by and poof, that fire is gone, and you're pretty much right back where you started. It is so frustrating, and it happens to almost all of us. So what is going on here? Why does this keep happening? Well, if you look at the data, it's pretty revealing. Studies show that only about 8 to 9%, that's it, of people who make New Year's resolutions actually stick with them long enough to see a real change. That means more than 90% of us are falling off the wagon. And listen, this isn't just a string of bad luck. It's a totally predictable pattern, and it's rooted in our own biology. Okay, so first up, let's pull back the curtain and look at the neuroscience behind why we so often fail. And here's the spoiler alert, and it's good news. It is not a character flaw. The problem isn't a lack of willpower. The problem is your brain. You see, that amazing burst of energy we get at the beginning of something new, it actually has a name. Behavioral scientists call it the fresh start effect. And it's a real, powerful psychological reset that tricks us into thinking change is easy this time. But here's the trap. Motivation is just a feeling. It's a temporary state. And like any feeling, it comes and goes with stress, how much sleep you got, and just the chaos of daily life. Relying on it is like trying to build a house on quicksand. What's really going on is a battle inside your head, a tug of war between two different parts of your brain. In one corner, you've got the planner. That's your prefrontal cortex. It's the part that sets goals and makes smart, conscious choices. But it takes a ton of energy to run, and it gets tired really easily. In the other corner, you have the autopilot, your basal ganglia. This is the part that runs all your ingrained habits automatically. It's super efficient, uses almost no energy, and it hates to change. So when you're tired or stressed out at the end of the day, who do you think is going to win that fight? And that's the absolute key takeaway here. This is not a willpower issue. Your brain is a finely tuned energy-saving machine, perfected over thousands of years of evolution. So when your high-energy planner is exhausted, your brain's default setting is to just hand the keys over to the low-energy autopilot. It's a survival instinct. And it's the real reason you find yourself scrolling on your phone instead of going for that run you promised yourself you'd take. Okay, so if the modern just try harder approach is basically setting us up to fight a losing battle against our own brain chemistry, where do we turn for a better strategy? Well, for that, let's look to an ancient spiritual tradition that has been studying this exact internal battle for centuries. Let's explore the Sufi concept of sabr. In Sufism, patience, or sabr, is not passive waiting. Far from it. It's defined as an active, powerful, internal practice. It's about consciously choosing to endure difficulty. It's about actively resisting the pull of what they call the nafs, which you can think of as our ego, our lower self, the part of us that wants instant gratification. And it's about giving up complaining. It's a constant, moment-by-moment choice that you make for a greater purpose. This quote from an early Sufi master, Baghdadi, just captures it so perfectly. Patience is to sip pain without grimacing. Think about that. It's not about pretending that hard things don't hurt, or that the struggle isn't real. It's about developing the inner strength to face that pain without letting it twist you up, without letting it break you. And make no mistake, this isn't some minor virtue in the Sufi tradition. It's absolutely central. Sabr is seen as one of the most critical principles, the key that unlocks a person's spiritual growth and helps them reach their highest potential. It's framed as the direct antidote to the things that kill our goals: complaining, despair, and just giving up. Now, to make this big, powerful idea a little more practical, Sufi teachings actually break patience down into 3 distinct types, and together they give us a pretty complete blueprint for how to live a patient life. Okay, so the first kind is patience with things you just can't control, like external hardships, a loss, or getting sick. The second is patience with the process itself, sticking with your practices, your duties, or say a new habit, even when it feels boring or difficult. And then there's the third, which they say is the hardest of all: patience against yourself, That's the active resistance against your own worst impulses. The ultimate story of that first kind of patience is the prophet Ayub, who you might know as Job. I mean, this man was tested with losses that are just unimaginable. His wealth, his children, his own health, it was all taken from him. And for over a decade, through all that immense suffering, his core gratitude and faith never wavered. His story shows us that patience isn't just about gritting your teeth, it can be a profound act of trust. So the big question is, how do we connect this ancient spiritual wisdom with the modern brain-based problem we all face? Well, right now, we are going to build that bridge. We're going to use modern neuroscience to create a practical training plan for building that muscle of patience. The Sufis were incredibly clear about this. The real war is always an internal one. It's that battle against the nefs, that part of you that just wants what feels good right now. In neuroscience terms, it's the battle to overcome our own energy-saving autopilot. And what's amazing is that both of these traditions, ancient and modern, understood that you don't win this with one big heroic push. You win it with a clever, patient strategy. So how do you actually train for this battle? Neuroscience gives us a very clear answer. You have to start smaller. I mean, way smaller than you think you should. This directly trains that second kind of patience, persisting with the practice. A micro habit like doing just one push-up or meditating for 60 seconds is so small it doesn't need your high-energy planner to get involved. It completely bypasses the willpower debate and starts training your autopilot to accept a new routine, one tiny, easy repetition at a time. But here's the other big neurological roadblock we have to get around. Our brains learn what to do again through a chemical called dopamine. It's like a little save button, the teaching signal that tells your brain, hey, that was good, let's do that again. The problem with most good habits, like exercising or saving money, is the reward is way, way down the road. You don't get healthier after one salad, right? So your brain doesn't get that immediate dopamine hit that tells it the new habit is worth the effort. So the solution is to basically hack your own reward system. You have to manually add a small immediate reward right after you do the new habit. This is how you reinforce that second type of patience with a process, by making the process itself feel good. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. Simply checking a box on a list, enjoying a cup of your favorite tea, or even just telling yourself, good job. That creates a small dopamine spike that teaches your brain to value the new habit, making you way more likely to do it again tomorrow. And finally, just think about the story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare relied on that big burst of motivation, and he burned out. The tortoise, he won with slow, steady, easy progress. This is how you train that third and hardest kind of patience, resisting the pull of your own nafs. You win by making the good choice the easiest choice. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Put the healthy snacks front and center in the fridge. By reducing friction, you're not trying to overpower your autopilot with willpower, you're just gently changing the direction of its path of least resistance. So after all this, what's the point? What's the big prize for doing all this work? Well, whether you look at it through the lens of ancient spirituality or modern neuroscience, the payoff for cultivating this skill is absolutely huge. In the Sufi tradition, the reward for mastering patience is truly profound. It goes way beyond just worldly success. The promise is for the highest spiritual states a person can reach: divine love, forgiveness, and a deep, unshakable sense of inner peace and happiness. And if we translate that into modern, secular terms, the reward is just as powerful. It's freedom. It's the freedom to become the architect of your own life. It's the ability to gently steer your autopilot, to overcome your own default settings, and to patiently and consistently build the life that your conscious planner actually wants for you. One small, deliberate step at a time. So let's end with this one idea. Patience is not something you either have or you don't. It's a skill. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it gets stronger every time you train it. So after everything we've talked about today, the real question isn't if you have patience, but how are you going to start training it? What's the smallest step, the one push-up you can take today?